Hello. Hi, Ginger and Alyssa. Chloe. Hi, Chloe and JB. Thanks for joining us. I'm a little bit late starting tonight, sorry. Got a lost track of time. Yeah, that's just what I'm thinking too, Ginger. I see a big one. I haven't looked at the sheet yet, but I do see that's got to be a sphinx moth there. So why don't we move in? It's a beautiful night, no wind. Temperature around 22, 23, 24 Celsius in the low 70s Fahrenheit. Clear. Perfect night for moths. Not too many midges or small bugs, small insects of any kind, so we're all set. So let's see who this is. Turn my light on. Just trying to find the right color of light here. I'll try this one. So this is either trying to remember the names. It's not the small-eyed sphinx, it's a twin-spotted sphinx. Nice fresh one. Take a look, see if he wants to show us his twin spots. Not really. Let's show us the underside. Oh, lots of nice pink mixed in there. You can see some of the pink. See one of the eye spots. And maybe we're seeing them both. Well, I won't bother her anymore. Anyways, twin-spotted sphinx moth. Smerinthus jamaicensis. Oh my God, look, we have another. This was a lifer for me a couple of nights ago. This is a tiger moth, and the name is Delicate Cycnia. Delicate Cycnia. And Cycnia was spelled C-Y-C-N-I-A. Delicate Cycnia. So that was a lifer for me like 3 nights ago. And one of very few records for New Brunswick. I suppose this could be the same moth, but a very distinctive moth with a nice yellow wash on the outer part of the wing. And it just moved up the sheet a ways. Nice. Here's a beautiful false crocus geometer. Yeah, I love the tiger moths too. I can't wait till we see some more. I'm sure we will see lots more. This is a real stunner, the false crocus geometer. Well, speaking of tiger moths, here's our good friend, the Isabella tiger moth. Remember, this one has a couple of black spots on the underwing, and it has black spots on top of the abdomen as well. I won't bother it too much. See a hint of the black spots on the underwing. And it doesn't want to show us the abdomen, that's fine. Isabella tiger moth. Wow. I just can't believe all these beautiful things that are right here in our backyards. And nobody wants to look at them. I don't get it. Strange. Here's an angle moth. Sorry, I got distracted there. Up here is, I'm wrapped around the light. Up here is a large looper. We've seen a few times now. Large looper. A Nicophorus beetle in there, but he's sort of hiding. This is a looper of some kind in the genus Syngrapha, S-Y-N-G-R-A-P-H-A, Syngrapha. Kind of a difficult genus. Banded tussock moth, first one of the night. First one that we've looked at. Actually, there's quite a few on the moth sheet here. Our Isabella tiger moth again. Just a second here, I have somebody inside my light jacket here, trying to get out. Where are you? Oh, it was this guy, Azalea sphinx. I don't know how it got inside my jacket, but it did. Azalea sphinx moth, our second sphinx of the night. Nice little pug moth. Some kind, and duplicate there. I think those are almost certainly the same species. You zoom in a little bit more. Nice. This is a heavily marked angle moth of some kind. Rather dark. Not sure what species of angle moth this is. There is a dark, heavily marked species called Owens angle moth. Could possibly be that, but I'm not sure. Grass veneer down here. I think this is one called small white grass veneer. Hi Wolf, welcome. Thanks for dropping in. Great to see you. We've had a couple of sphinx moths I can show you quickly, Wolf. This one is a twin spotted sphinx. Well, while I'm here, look up here. We have a banded sphinx moth on the bottom and a nice silver spotted fern moth on top there. Silver spotted fern moth, one of my favorites. So silver spotted fern moth on top and banded tussock moth on the bottom. And the other sphinx we had, Wolf, was azalea sphinx, and maybe it didn't stick around. I thought it was going to hang around over here. I don't see it right now. This is a large looper from the side. All kinds of crests sticking up and very ornate. Christiana! Hi! How are you, Christiana? Getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning again. That's great. Milk the cows, eh? Yes, Wolf, you should rewind to see that, although it may show up again. It was actually, the azalea sphinx was actually inside my jacket. I could just hear and feel something inside my jacket, and when I unzippered, azalea sphinx flew out. Ooh, who's this one? Oh, it's a Habrocine. This is our lettered Habrocine. Oh, here's our azalea sphinx is back. Oh, it's gone already. Darn. Oh well, it may come back again. Here's a black zigzag. Pretty nice for a black and white moth. Amazing patterns. Yeah, I think that azalea just dropped in to say hi to Wolf there. black zigzag moth. Wolf, here's our Isabella tiger moth. Here's a longhorn beetle. This is actually the same species we saw a couple of nights ago. And at that time, I gave you the wrong name. I told you it was a poplar borer, but it's not. This is called the alder borer. Alder borer. So the larvae of the species feeds on alder, which we have lots and lots around this area, including our yard. We have 2 species of alder here. Speckled alder and green alder. I really like longhorn beetles. Yes, Ginger, he's ready. Bring on the competition. Camera's having a bit of trouble focusing on it there. All right, we'll move back to this side again. It's a banded tussock moth. And this is a banded tussock moth. It's a nice micro moth of some kind there. Could be, I think it is the spruce budworm, this one here. Spruce budworm moth. And it's about time we took a look at one of these. Virginia tenucid moth. Just in case you forgot what they look like. Some of them are starting to get a bit faded, a bit old. Looks like the white edgings on his wings have worn off. Some of the blue scales on his thorax have worn off. Missing a piece of its wing. A couple of pieces missing from the right wing there. Hey Dan. Nice to see you. Thanks for joining us. This is a grass veneer here that's called, this one, I don't think we've seen it before. Well, we're not going to see it now, I guess. It flew off. It's called the elegant grass veneer, and we will see more because they're pretty common. This is a grass veneer as well. This one's called topiary. Topiary grass veneer. He's a little hyper right now. Oh, I don't know who he met up with there. Lighting is no good there. Here's our first moth of the night. Nothing wrong with that. Beautiful, beautiful moth. Here's another, remember this one from a couple of nights ago? I was calling it the pink spotted fern moth, but it's actually called the pink shaded fern moth. Pink shaded fern moth. Certainly a beautiful species. Oh, wipe out. Here's our first brother moth. And who is this? Oh, that was the pink shaded fern moth. Down here is a pale glyph. Sort of worn, not showing many field marks. Another false chronometer, or the same one, possibly. Take a peek over here on the shingles. Where did we start here? Well, there's a Isabella tiger moth. Sorry. Flame-shouldered dart. Oh, there's somebody on our lens there. There. There's our flame-shouldered dart. Yay, Wolf. Good. Glad to hear that. This is a good one to learn, the flame-shouldered dart. It's really common here. I don't think we've had a stream without one or more. What else do we have here? This is a very worn Baltimore moth. Really worn. That one underneath it is called the bog biberambla, but we won't bother spelling that out. Here's a lesser wainscot we saw briefly a couple of nights ago. I think Newman wasp just came in. Lesser wainscot. Hi, Dave. How are you, Dave? Great to see you. Thanks for joining us. Yeah, the moth with the lady's name last night, Wolf. We right after the stream ended, we had a little conference, Alyssa and Ginger and I, and the name came to me, of course, right away as soon as we ended the stream, and it was Julia. And of course, I've forgotten the rest of the name. It was Julia's something moth, and the something is the genus, which is kind of an obscure name. So it's funny, we joked about that last night. I said, I'll never remember this. I won't even remember it tomorrow night. And sure enough, I didn't remember it. I don't remember it. But the first part was Julia. If you want to look it up, an easy way to look it up is to go to just go to Google and type in. You have to type in these three words: Julia, Julia, moth, MOTH, and MPG, like miles per gallon, but it actually stands for Moth Photographers Group. But if you type in MPG, moth, Julia, the first hit will be the species page at Moth Photographers Group, and you'll have a great view of Julia's whatever moth that we saw last night. This is a new one for us, but don't think I'm going to pull up the name. There, I think Ginger has a link for you already. Look at that. Thank you, Ginger. That's super. Gosh. This is a species we used to think was very rare in New Brunswick, but in recent years it's become very common. And that's still not helping me recall the name. But I'll try to look it up for tomorrow night. This is one I'd like somebody to look up for me. It's a very common moth. We have seen it, and I'm not sure the name. I know it's maple. I think it might be just a maple looper moth. Ginger or Alyssa, could you check that on Google? Just put maple looper moth MPG. Maple looper moth. Try that. Alyssa says that's it. Great. Maple looper moth. It's a really common moth in late summer. Obviously, well, probably the larvae, caterpillars, feed on maple, but sometimes the names are deceiving, because sometimes those names were given to them when they were first discovered, and if they were first found on maple, somebody might have decided it'd be a good common name for it. And then later studies have shown that it probably feeds on poplar and birch and everything else. You know, I looked up, just before I came out here tonight, I looked up pawpaw sphinx to see what it does feed on. And sure enough, it does feed on pawpaw, but it also feeds on several other species that we have here, including holly. We have lots of holly here. It feeds on sweet fern, which we have in abundance around here, and another species besides the pawpaw, which I've forgotten where it was. We have lots of it here. So not exclusively to the pawpaw tree at all. No. It's again probably a case of the first people that found the caterpillar or the moth, probably the caterpillar, found it on a pawpaw and described the species as feeding on pawpaw. And then later it was discovered that it feeds on a lot of other things as well. It's our small rivulet. No, it's not. No, sorry, this is a white banded toothed carpet. White banded toothed carpet. We see every night. It feeds on bed straw that we have lots of in our yard here. I'm going to say I can probably turn around and show you bed straw. Yeah, there's some right there. Bed straw. Many kinds of bed straw here in New Brunswick. Here's our azalea sphinx came so Wolf could have a real good look. Came back. This one's kind of faded though. Actually much more rusty, so it's missing a lot of its scales on its wings. That's what happens to moths when they get older. Probably been flying for a couple of weeks or a few weeks. A banded tussock moth there. A banded tussock moth over here. A banded tussock moth right there. Here's our Isabella tiger moth. Hi Mary. Welcome aboard, great to see you. Not sure what this one is. I think it's probably some kind of a wainscot, but I'm not sure. Virginia tenucid, another worn one. Here's our rare moth from a couple of nights ago that we saw earlier this evening too. There it is. A delicate cycnia moth, kind of overexposed. Sorry about that. Brother moth in the center, and now in the center is a lettered habrocine. Nice big ant. Lettered habrocine. Anybody over here on the shingles? This big Microphorus beetle of some kind in there. Banded tussock moth. This one's kind of unremarkable, but it's a new one for us. It's called the rotund idia. Rotund idia. Idia spelled I-D-I-A. Idia. That's it, Alyssa? Perfect. Who's hiding here? I just can't get enough light in there. Side-shouldered dart. Cestia C. nigrum that we see every night. common gluphisia that we see every night. This is a nice pug moth, but I don't know what species it is. A beautiful pattern on it. Sort of looks like a new pattern for us. Sorry, I really have a lot of trouble with the names. Pug moths are a really difficult group. Hi Ryan, good evening. Thanks for joining us. So pug moth species. There's our delicate cycnia again. Don't have my card with me tonight. Oh yes I do. This might help. Let's see. That's a delicate cycnia. It actually has spots on the top of its abdomen. I don't know if you noticed when it was flying. Here it is here. It's flown off now. This is called Betline owlet. And who is this? It's a nice click beetle on the bottom. The moth, I'm not sure. I'm going to have to look it up. Laureen. Wow. Hi, Laureen. Do you recognize this moth, Laureen? We need some help. Pretty good size. Lorraine, you don't know this moth? Oh, I thought you knew them all. Darn. Thin-lined owlet. Yep. No, it was bent-lined owlet. Yes, Wolf, this is a zigzag moth. Black zigzag moth. Good memory. Bent-lined owlet, that's it. Okay, Lorraine, sorry to hear you're not feeling well. And I am just teasing you about the moths, of course. This is a grass veneer, and I think this one is called Leach's grass veneer. Leach apostrophe S. Leach's grass veneer. Perfect, Alyssa. Thank you. That's our black dotted glyph that we see most nights. Yeah, what is this? This looks like a tent caterpillar of some kind, but it's pretty worn. Tent caterpillar moth. We'll see plenty of fresh ones. Our tufted bird dropping moth again. This one's for Lorraine. Whoa, there's a big sphinx moth in my face, going up my ear, on my shoulder. This has got to be the big poplar sphinx. I don't know if I can get him onto the sheet or not. I'm not sure where he is right now. Oh. Don't know where he went. He flew into the sheet. Oh, he's on my hand. He's down here on the ground. Big poplar sphinx. Oh, there he is. Just get him to calm down a bit. This one is the largest, Lorraine, the largest sphinx moth that we have. Wow. Wow. So beautiful. Still fluttering around here. An ichneumon wasp. Here's a clear-wing moth. These ones are neat for the little feathery tip to their abdomen that's orange. This one's called maple callus borer. It's in the family of clear-wing moths because their wings are mostly clear, transparent. Sorry for the banging, I keep hitting the lamp here. Whoa. Big poplar sphinx is back. Wow. Silver spotted fern moth here. It's kind of like an embarrassment of riches here tonight. So nice to have a lot of moths around and no mosquitoes, no wind, no midges. It's a brother moth. Pale glyph. Some kind of an angle moth. Virginia tenuted. I wonder if there's any leafhoppers here tonight. Kind of have to change your way of looking at the sheet. Well, there's one. It's amazing how you can ignore these when you're looking for moths or looking for larger moths. A beautiful leafhopper of some kind. Another one here. I think those are different species. Yeah, almost certainly they'd be different species. Just different size, different shape. Where's the larger one here? Right here. Maybe a more pointed. Where to go? Look at the snout on this one. The pointedness of the head, and compare it to this one. If I can find it. I think this one has a, a more pointed head. Excuse me. And it's just longer and narrower in general. Here's a nice metallic Coleoptera. I can find it here. There it is. Sort of like a shiny gold metallic color. Coleoptera is the genus that it's in. There are a few species that are metallic colored, usually gold, some are silver, very reflective, very shiny, very small. Well, this one's about 10 millimeters, I guess, so about a centimeter long. Coleoptera is the genus C-O, well, I'm not sure. Coleoptera, C-O-L-E-O-P-T-E-R-A. Not sure of that, Alyssa. So again, look at the head shape on this leafhopper. Compare it to this one. I think this one here, oh, it's gone. All right. What else do we have here? Yeah, I think this one here is a bog leafhopper, but it just flew again. That was a big beetle of some kind. I got part way in my mouth. Sorry about that. Ginger, good night. Take care. I'm sorry. Sorry you have a migraine. Take care of that. Thanks so much. We'll see you tomorrow for sure. That's a pale glyph in the center. Of course, banded tussock moth. Some kind of a grass veneer on the right. The one on the left is in the same family, but it's not a grass veneer. Not sure what species it is. This is the I think this is a small white grass veneer on the left. One in the center is a crambid of some kind, and pale glyph, and nicely patterned micro moth of some kind. Don't recognize that pattern. All right, let's do another. Oh, here's a new one for us, I think. Don't think we've seen this. This is called, I think, the gray spruce looper. Of course, it flew. Here it's back. I think this is called the gray spruce looper, and we actually might have seen it once before. I'm not sure. I know I've seen it this year. I'm not sure whether we had one on the stream or not. This is a small rivulet, a very small species of carpet moth. Same gang over here, our black zigzag, twin-spotted sphinx moth, banded tussock moth, very worn azalea moth, azalea sphinx moth, Virginia tenuchid, nice May beetle of some kind. This one has some green iridescence on it. Orangish legs, in the same family as June bugs. It's a big click beetle here. Lettered habrosine. I hear a Wilson snipe calling. Brother moth. So it says the lettered habrosine and the brother moth. Here's our big poplar sphinx sitting over here. Have to back the camera way up for this guy. Wolf, you got the spelling right. Habrosine, Habrosyne. Excuse me. And this one's called lettered, like a letter that you would mail, lettered habrosine. And we only have one other species in New Brunswick, and that one's called the glorious habrosine, and we saw that one of our first streams, and it's actually on the thumbnail for our moth checks. It's the big moth that's in the middle of the thumbnail. Here is a new moth for us. Sorry about the light. There isn't a lot of light down here. This is called the finned willow prominent. finned, like a fish fin, fin willow prominent. And it's a really beautiful moth. I think if I move it a bit, we might get better light on it. Yeah, it's got a nice tuft right in the middle of the back. Fin willow prominent. Nice big fuzzy legs, the front legs. Beautiful, beautiful moth. Not very common. Sorry, I'm moving quite a bit, but I don't have anything to brace myself against down there. Thin willow prominent. Beauty. Beauty, beauty, beauty. It's our large looper again. Couple of Virginia tenuchids. Oh, chocolate. Is this a chocolate prominent? By golly, it is. A chocolate prominent that we saw one last night. Come in and landed right beside the fin willow prominent. See if I can get a bit better light. Chocolate prominent and fin willow prominent. A little tiny cochillid moth down the bottom there. Excuse me. Well, I see we're past midnight. Take one last look here as a big dagger has come in here. I think this is American dagger. It's our clear wing moth again. Hard to believe those are moths, but they are. Asian lady beetle, silver spotted fern moth, and I guess we better call it a night before we all turn into pumpkins here. Oh. This is a new one. Gosh, it's going to fly away here in a second. He's quivering his wings. Oh, settle down. Give me a little more time to try to recall the name. It's a brother moth on the bottom. Don't remember. But it's some kind of an arches. It's like maybe purple arches. Not sure, but I'll look it up and I'll have a name for you by this time tomorrow. And here's another dagger of some kind. Purple arches, I think that's what it is, Alyssa. This is a pretty distinctive looking dagger, but I don't recall the name. I'll get that name. Do I dare look again here? Oh, it's a click beetle. Caddisfly of some kind. Beautiful Virginia tenuta, fresh one with the white fringe on the wings, the tip. Beautiful blue iridescence on the thorax and the abdomen. Orange on the head. And I still haven't checked to see if females have feathery antennae as well. They must. Okay, well, thanks for hanging in there, those of you that are still here. And we'll probably be doing another stream tomorrow night. It's supposed to be another hot day tomorrow. Temperatures here into the 80s Fahrenheit, and fairly calm, and no precipitation. So we'll probably be back here again tomorrow night. Same time, 11 o'clock Eastern, 10 o'clock, I'm sorry, 11 o'clock Atlantic, 10 o'clock Eastern. So we'll see you then. Dan, thanks for being here. Good night, Mary. Hey, Christiana, thanks so much for being here. I'll see you later on today. Chloe and JB, thank you ever so much for always being here. And Wolf, thank you. Pleasure to have you here. Alyssa, you're the best. Thanks for the great typing. I'll see you all again soon. Good night. Take care. Bye-bye.